Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning from the Guardian newspaper, we'll flip over to leadership newspaper. Airfare flying beyond reach. Police arrest 130 foreign nationals, Nigerians for hacking. ICPC arraigns approvals, lecturer for certificate forgery. India's trade with Africa nears $100 billion. Investments surpasses $75 billion. Senators back free distribution of 10 billion Rhapsody of Realities copies. Cancer, Remi Tinubu, Bagudu urge Nigerians on regular screening. Blackout in the north, matters arising, the candidates and the issues. Farmer, two sons killed in Ebonyi. The Nation Journalism Foundation bets. Falana wants charges against minors dropped. Varsity workers suspend strike. ANEC, Chetima, Diri, others lead discussion on economy, security. 2 months after, NYSC core members yet to get 77,000 naira allowance. AFCFTA, customs facilitates first shipment to Kenya. Local government polls, APC wins all chairmanship seats in Nasarawa. Dangote sets a petrol price at 990 naira per litre to marketer, says is cheaper than imported. Veteran journalist Ngozi Anyebunam dies at 67. Your record tainted. Tinubu's economic reforms essential. Presidency rejects articles tutorials. CAF verdict. Federal government debunks a report of attacks on Nigerians in Libya. What we would have done differently. Atiku tutors Tinubu on economic reforms. Withheld salaries. Varsity workers suspend strike. ECOWAS ministers brainstorm on Atlantic gas pipeline with Morocco. Chadian president threatens pullout from MNJTF amid Boko Haram resurgency. APC blasts Governor Makinde over 2027 presidential ambition. Ban- Badenoch's emergence as UK Conservative Party leader pride to Nigeria black race Afenifere. Chelsea hold Man United to 1-1 at Old Trafford. B. Irate protesters throw mods at Spain's king in flood-hit Valencia. EPL. Solanke scores twice as Tottenham blow Aston Villa away. Hashtag end bad governance trial. NHRC condemns arraignment of children for treason. Police arrest 130 foreigners. We've taken this. Still on the stories making the headlines on the leadership newspaper this morning. Botched AFCON qualifier. Diplomatic rows looms as Libya moves mass arrest of Nigerians. Sarah A. Lookman scores twice as Atlanta trash league leader. Napoli 3-0. Gunmen kill federal lawmaker's mother-in-law in Plateau. Oyo APC accuses Governor Makinde of alleged deal with a foreign firm to extort students. FUDMA confers honorary doctorate degree on Kanu lawmaker Bishi. Deputy Senate President loses police aid in accident. Group demands release of detained hashtag end bad governance protesters. Hashtag end bad governance protest. ACF tells federal government to free detainees, end trial. Bauchi government to employ 10,000 workers. Oyebanji harps on unity, peace as recipes for development. Rest attitude. Prioritizing rest on daily basis. China's capacity building boosts Nigeria's education system. Tinubu to swear in 7 new ministers Monday. Cross River APC wins 8 local government chairmanship seats as results trickle in. Boxing. Warren rules out the boys versus Joshua rematch. Group 6 stakeholders collaboration against child exploitation, violence. Investigate death rumor about Sultan of Sokoto, Murik, urges Inspector General of Police. Lush Hair unveils new product at Lagos Fashion Week 2024. Obaseki must account for 1.5 trillion naira revenues allocations in 8 years. Edo leaders. CAF unveils match schedule for Women's Champions League. Our goal is to qualify for 2025 AFCON 2026 World Cup. Lookman. My experience in football will benefit other sports. Dico. Embracing heritage, the timeless elegance of Ebira attire. Ruling Labour Party loses 17 Abia local government chairmanship seats to ZLP YPP. Chris Ihedero unveils new series Journey to Gloom. AVRS shared 45 million naira royalties to members in 1 year. 30 suspects seized as National Drug Law Enforcement Agency seizes 4.4 billion naira cocaine at Lagos Airport. UTME court jails professor who attempted to impersonate daughter. Nigerian gospel music industry experiencing exciting transformation. Fitch affirms Nigeria's positive outlook at B. Gross written premium of Regency Alliance hits 6 billion naira in 2023. Shetima laws AirPC's resilience, patriotism. Ebonyi trains 200 youths on agri-business. That's the much we can take from the leadership newspaper this morning. From the leadership newspaper, we'll flip over to Vanguard newspaper. Withheld salaries, normalcy returns to varsities as workers suspend strike. Why exporters are struggling. Investigation. Why we've taken this? Standard Organization of Nigeria cautions on use of substandard CNG cylinder. Continuing trend of business exit from Nigeria worrisome. Nasima. APC sweeps Cross River local government poll, wins all 18 local government areas. Reject my turn mentality, tribalism, religious bias in leadership, P2B tells Nigerians. Atiku would have plunged Nigeria into worse economic situation. Presidency knocks ex-VP. Falana asks court to dismiss charges against arraigned minors. What I would have done differently if I were the Nigerian president, Atiku Abubakar. 90 attacks in 4 months. Coalition demands urgent action to protect Nigerian journalists. Enemies of rivers want control of rivers state resources. Fubara. End bad governance protests. ACF, NHRC, CILAC, Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Projects, CHRICED, slam police over trial of minors. NASU, SANU, suspend strike, NAAT to continue with a proposed protest. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency post drug syndicate intercept 4.4 billion naira cocaine at Lagos Airport. Year tide, anxiety as more increase in airfares looms. Asaba stood, first legal battle looms. 6 killed in fresh herdsmen attack in Benue. Why you should never drink water while standing. Hard economy. Government road sweepers take up private jobs to make extra cash. That's the much we can take from the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning from the Vanguard newspaper. We'll flip over to Punch newspaper. Rivers crisis stems from resource control, says Fubara. 2027, Atiku, Muhammad, Makinde's ambitions, deepen PDP crisis. Federal government projects a 44 trillion naira revenue as reps oppose tax review. ICYMI, Libya begins mass arrest of Nigerians after CAF verdict. Ayedatiwa tackles Ajayi over alleged of 1.2 billion naira security vote. New ministers for swearing in today. Obaseki seeks support for incoming administration. US election. Harris, Trump in final push for votes tomorrow. Obi makes U-turn, says position on church vigils distorted. Varsity workers suspend strike as federal government pays 25% withheld salary. Aggrieved residents protest as king. Politicians visit Spain flood scenes. Police to charge 113 foreign nationals arrested for cybercrime. Kanu begins mass registration of foreigners. Expert harps on data privacy rights. Lagos vows to tackle HIV, screens residents. Sanwo-Olu unveils SFH Innovation Hub. Lagos State Government diverts traffic for 15 months at Mile 2. Tinubu succeeding where you failed. Presidency replies article. Coppers and Live Brand alumni reunite. Honor Wigwe as standing accountants. Remedial Health. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency partner to combat drug abuse. Hashtag end bad governance. Northern governors, ACF, others demand minors release. Abiodun pledges commitment to welfare, religious harmony. Chetima, Diri, Ribadu ministers for editors conference. Daystar hosts leadership conference to inspire transformation. Troops nab notorious terrorist leaders in Sokoto. 3-year-old with heart problems needs 5 million naira for surgery. Ondo poll, Ayedatiwa, Ajayi clash over security votes, wages at debate. Tinubu succeeding where you failed, the presidency replies article. Oluremi Tinubu, APC women leader seek more female representation. APC sweeps Cross River local government poll, wins all 18 local government areas. Governors united on proposed tax reforms. Castina Governor A. That's the much we can take from the Punch newspaper this morning. From the Punch newspaper, we'll flip over to Daily Post newspaper. 3 women, 15 men declared new chairman-elect of Cross River local government areas. 3 gunned down as Nigerian soldiers, bandits clash in Kaduna. Lagos Calabar Highway, Nigerian government increases compensation to 18 billion naira. Zulum advocates adoption of Chinese model for choosing leaders in Nigeria. Atiku would have been worse off as Nigeria's president. Onanuga extend cooperation support to incoming administration. Obaseki urges Edo people. Israel-Hamas conflict. Death toll reaches 43,341 amid escalating violence. Don't sell your farm produce in haste. Bauchi monarch cautions farmers. Seek God's guidance for national unity, economic stability. Governor Abiodun urges church leaders. And Non-Academic Staff Union, NASU, Senior Staff Association of Nigerian University, suspend strike for 1 month. Troops arrest oil tips, recover over 700,000 liters of stolen products. Crime in Nigeria linked to abuse of illicit drugs, Archbishop Ugoji. That's the much we can take from the Daily Post newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning, from the Daily Post newspaper, we'll flip over to the Nation newspaper. FCT, Lagos, 25 orders to face food crisis. Organization set to end pediatric HIV. Lead active lives to beat stroke. Experts urge residents. AFMPN, facility management can boost economy. Lawmakers organize health outreach. How influencer empowers content creators. Orders. Caverton, Mons director. Collapse mining pit. Senate promises to stop illegal mining in Nigeria. Federal government committed to judicious application of ecological fund. Tinubu celebrates Hanatu Musawa at 50. Iwanyanwu was passionate about his people, says Ngige. 1,200 benefit from free health mission. Ajayi Ayedatiwa clash at debate. Lawmaker launches a program to support children. French Embassy, AFRIFF, to boost Nigerian creative industry. You're listening to newspaper headlines on EBEONADI 103.5 FM. We'll now go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making the headlines on the Nation newspaper. Please stay with us.
EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Napapoa production. Police vigilante. My business. When I was telling you, HJ radio drama, Enrico. Akụkọ ihe mere n'ime ogbe. Ejije radio drama Enrico ga na-abịara gị every Monday 8 o'clock p.m. with a repeat broadcast on Saturday 3 o'clock p.m. na EBEONADI 103.5 FM. If you move by finish on the I have a testimony. Good bread should have a nice crust, nice crumb, and good flavor and aroma. A quality bread will have a slightly glossy finish on the inside. That is where West Zone bread comes in, made of wheat flour, sugar, salt, milk, flavor, yeast, water, and butter. Is a perfect blend of crust, nice crumb, and milky flavor and adorable aroma. West Zone Bite bread comes in sizes of round, long, medium, big, and jumbo, and is registered with NAFDAC. West Zone Bite bread, a product of West Zone Bakery, located at plot 246 Oponile Street, Omoba Phase 1, Onitsha, Anambra State. For more information, please call 070-3108-6224. We supply across the nation. The challenges of documenting memories in the 21st century is gone. When you have EBEONADI 103.5 FM here, what are you celebrating today? Birthdays, wedding anniversary, traditional wedding, chieftaincy conferment, or fala, etc. Approach EBEONADI 103.5 FM Ogidi today to document your event. EBEONADI 103.5 FM offers you live coverage of your events on radio and social media, video and photo coverages, feature on magazines, photo books and others, news coverage of political and other events. Take this offer and receive a complete coverage. For more information, call or WhatsApp 080-6579-6599 or you visit EBEONADI 103.
Quando o povo calou lá no o quando tá careza, já beleza marcha. O que com o mesmo? Ambai já vuno. O que não é mesmo? O que não é pior? O que não é rono? Ninguém tuai. Ninguém não nada. Não paharam boa. Makani yo bona ninguém. Nem ka matu we motivo. Makani botu ni wese. Leta na to. Uma vez na noto. Kanke no wora na na. No amotivo. Sono soliti, 9 corsi, na 103.5, for watch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, ngwa ngwa ọkụ elekere 10 nke ụtụtụ ka m gwa gị ka o si wee mee ka ị gwa m ebumnobi gị. Ị ga-amụta ọtụtụ ihe ga-eme ka ị ghara ịgafe ụzọ ebe ndị ọzọ gafere. Igbo kacha alọ
How best can we talk about the challenges we are having on our streets, our community, our society in general? Street report. If we do not address these challenges on EBEONADI FM, who will, as the happenings around us get as complicated as they can be?
Our government, Abia.
Street report is here to make sense of it all. Street report is causing social change across your streets. In your community. Street report is here with hardcore journalists to get to the root of our problem. Why don't you join me, Martin Ifanishku, number the 4th, every Friday, 4:30 p.m. on EBEONADI103.5FM as Street Reports unfolds in your face. On EBEONADI 24/7, 24/7.
You're welcome back to Newspaper Headlines on EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 080-6579-6599. We are on to the Nation newspaper. French Embassy, AFRIFF, to boost Nigerian creative industry. Conference on industrial hygiene holds Thursday. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Nation newspaper this morning. BAT Nigeria partners ESG forum on sustainability. Still on the Nation newspaper this morning, EPL Dominic Solanke scores twice as Tottenham beat Aston Villa from behind. Ekiti grants licenses to 14 investors for electricity generation distribution. Federal government distributes relief materials to Niger Delta flood victims. Court sentences a professor to 6 months for impersonating daughter. What I would have done as a president by Atiku. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Nation newspaper this morning. More PDP chieftains join APC in Ondo. New laws to strengthen martial operations underway, says Akuta. Soldier, police officer stabbed to death in Nasarawa. Abia councilships receive certificates of return. Talk is cheap. Presidency fires back at Atiku. Ondo Post, Ajayi Ayedatiwa clash at debate. Dangote refinery hits Hypeman. Petroan reveals a price of petrol per litre. Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway. Federal government increases compensation to 18 billion naira. Bianca Ojukwu, Yewada, Oduwole, 4 others for inauguration as a minister today. Non-academic staff union of educational and association institutions and the Senior Staff Association of Nigeria University to call off strike. UK Foreign Secretary in Nigeria to deepen trade. Climate collaboration. Supreme Court plans a special session for late ICPC chair Justice Ayola, November 11th. That's the much we can take from the Nation newspaper this morning. Now, from the Nation newspaper, we'll flip over to this day newspaper. World on edge as US presidential election holds tomorrow. World Bank projects oil growth in 2025 foresees a price drop to $73 per barrel. Ondo announces 60.3 billion naira profit for 2023 audited financials. News Airlines reconnects Nigeria, Italy in direct flight after long hiatus. Article: Federal government should adopt my manifesto. End of tenure Thanksgiving. Obaseki celebrates achievements, successes. Tinubu to swear in new ministers today. Dangote refinery to oil marketers. Any imported petrol cheaper than ours is substandard. History as Kemi Badenoch becomes first black woman to lead UK's Conservative Party. Makinde 2027 elections will be APC versus Nigerians, not between PDP and ruling party. UK Foreign Secretary arrives in Nigeria in first trip to Africa. Oando announces 60.3 billion naira profit for 2023 audited financials. End of tenure with taking this. Wema Bank's ALAT Explore. Pioneering financial literacy with Nigeria's first teen banking app. Stakeholders reiterate commitment to improve distribution value chain. Lafarge Africa reports 53% growth in profit to 60.8 billion naira. That's the much we can take from this day newspaper this morning. From this day newspaper, we'll flip over to Nigerian Tribune. Stop circulating 10-year-old videos about dean of criminals in Oyo government. Conference on climate change induced conflicts holds in Kaduna Monday. Sultan of Sokoto bestows a traditional title on Pantami. Bauchi earmarks 3 billion naira to subsidize the food prices amid inflation. Obaseki leads Thanksgiving to mark end of tenure. 2027 elections. Northern youths unite in Kaduna, pledge to push for new Nigeria. Experts seek improved tax system to boost Nigeria's economy. Defense minister visit Jigawa monarch over son's death. Bamidele University of Education pensioners seek Oyebanji's intervention over unpaid gratuities. Edo ensure return of stolen assets. Civil society organizations tax EFCC. Jigawa Revenue Services revenue collections by over 300%. NHRC National Human Rights Commission condemns minors' arraignment. Nasima Sanwo-Olu Lord Lagos Trade Fair's role in boosting Nigeria's economic growth. MW can take from Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. That will also mark the conclusion. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 080-579-6599. We'll now flip over to our As we await network on our WhatsApp portal, we'll flip over to SMS portal. We have this message. It's coming from Godwin from Umumbo, Ayamelum, local government area. This man killing driver in Anambra is a shocking news. I think checkpoints are meant to detect criminals. are meant for detection of criminals, why should same be used for eliminating innocent people? That police officer who did the killing must face the full wrath of the law to serve as a deterrent to others. Godwin from Umumbo, Ayamelum local government area of Anambra State. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Still on our SMS portal, we have this message. It's coming from Chinedu Oneka, pastor, and he says, I wish Americans well as they go to polls tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We also have another message coming from Ichie Mazi Izuogo from Awada, and he says, Tinubu firing back to Atiku, a childish attitude. Let Tinubu correct his so much mistakes because Nigerians are dying seriously in pains. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. From our SMS portal, we'll flip over to our WhatsApp portal. We have this message. It's coming from Comrade Manley Oduago from Odumobosi, and he says, there is no single day we do not hear about financial embezzlement in government institutions, kidnapping, rampant ethically and religious masterminded killings, and the rest of them. The phenomenal corruption at the level of politics and governance is second to none. Honestly, ethics and values which glue society together and act as a moral guide have totally crashed. Instead, negative transcendentalism. Okay, a long word. It says negative transcendentally monolisness, and then criminality at all levels are rising geometrically to take their place in. Is there any visible hope for Nigerian considering the miracle of negative tendencies? Manly Uduogo from Udumobosi, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It's coming from Famous Christian. He's joining us from Ipite Village, Akolozibo. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We also have this message. It's coming from Agunabo. He's joining us from Ofa Agolozibo, and he says Nigeria and zero import duty saga contributes promise and fail in Nigeria is what makes a public to pass no vote of confidence on our presidency. And he says a police officer that killed a motorist or a driver have to face the consequences because he did not act professionally. PMS Palava Dangote should have been more clear on what he says about the price of petrol pump and not to tell us that an imported PMS is of lower quality and end bad governance saga. Continuous detaining of minor is barbaric and highly condemnable. And he says instead of having juvenile rehabilitation center, the Fulani militia and the killing of farmers in Benue State is barbaric and quagmire, and calling on authority to secure the life of the masses because this may escalate into a catastrophic situation. We are watching as things unfold. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Agonabo joining us from Aguluzibo, Opa Aguluzibo. Still on our WhatsApp portal this morning, we have this message. It's coming from Maloto Patrick from Nteje. And he says, I think federal government and Dangote are not yet ready to tell Nigerians exactly what is happening in the oil industry. Is if it is true that Dangote sets fuel pump price at a little bit over 900 naira, then why should the federal government insist on importation of refined fuel? That means there is a cold war going on between Dangote and the federal government. Maybe that should be a war of supremacy. Be that as it may, they should make haste to settle whatever problems they may have for the interests of the people of Nigeria and the entire country or at large. On the other hand, the police officer that killed a driver at a police checkpoint in Anambra State has to be arrested and prosecuted accordingly. May the soul of the driver rest in peace. Amen. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Waloto Patrick from Nteje. But when it comes to the petrol pump price, I think it is between Dangote and the independent marketers and not the federal government, basically. But anyway, it is still ongoing. We have another message coming in from Chinedu Oneka. He's joining us and he says, okay, my name is Chinedu Oneka, pastor. I wish Americans well as they go to polls tomorrow. Okay, we've gotten the same message from our SMS portal. Thank you so much for joining us again this morning. Still on our WhatsApp portal, we have this message. It's coming from Valentine Edene from Umbo, and he says, this is what baffles me a lot. Is it a crime to protest against hardship or hunger issue? And he says, if minors went extra mile against leadership or democracy as they were tagged, what this current government have done for food security? What have they done for food security, for welfare of citizens? Rather, oppose taxes. And he says, Nigerians are dying of hunger. How shall we let government be aware of this without protest? Okay, Valentine Edene from Mumbo, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It is coming from Engineer Ebukanwa Bufo Henry from Amawa Obunike, and he says, is Dangote the person controlling pop price or federal government? But what we have seen is that one, fixing PMS and gas prices, NMPC should wake up and take full responsibility of their work. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And with that message from Engineer Ebukanwa Bufo Henry from Amawa Bunike, this is the spot where we'll call it a day on this particular edition of Newspaper Headlines on EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Remember, it comes your way weekdays in the morning. Once is 7 o'clock. So keep it and don't touch the dial of EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Once is 8:20. This morning, we'll be back with Birthday Splash. Till we meet again, I am Martin. Have a wonderful morning.
EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Napapoa Production. My business. When I was telling you, DJ radio drama, there we go. AJ radio drama, here we go. Can I dialogue every Monday, 8 o'clock p.m. with broadcast on Saturday, 3 o'clock p.m. Now, EBEONADI 103.5 FM. If you know by finish of the The challenges of documenting memories in the 21st century is gone. When you have EBEONADI 103.5 FM, here, what are you celebrating today? Birthdays, wedding anniversary, traditional wedding, chieftaincy conferment, or fala, etc. Approach EBEONADI 103.5 FM Ogidi today to document your event. EBEONADI 103.5 FM offers you live coverage of your events on radio and social media, video and photo coverages, feature on magazines, photo books and others, news coverage of political and other events. Take this offer and receive a complete coverage. For more information, call or WhatsApp 080657965 99, or you visit EBEONADI103.5FM Ogidi, opposite Ogunike Boys, inside Leovin Residency Hotel, Ogidi.
Nke o si mee, ọ gịnị na-afịọ? Nwanne m okwu ka nụrụ na ntị. Ọkwa anụ taa karịa eze, ya bụ na eze na-achị. Ọ dịka o si mee bụ mgbe anyị ji abụ ụlọ nke na-eme eme, nke na-apịa ụzọ, nke na-arụ ọrụ n'ime ndụ anyị na ezinụlọ anyị na mpaghara mba ụwa, maka na ihe ọbụla na-emenụ na-eme ka mmadụ wee mụta ihe, maka na Igbo tụrụ ilu wee sị n'ebe a na-adụ nwa nwere nne na nna ọdụ ka nke na-enwere nne na nna na-anọ amụta ife. Sonyere Somtii n'oge ka o si mee na 103.5 kwa ụbọchị Mọnde, Wenesde, Fraịde, ngwa ngwa ọkụ elekere 10 nke ụtụtụ ka m gwa gị ka o si wee mee, ka ị gwa m ebumnobi gị. Ị ga-amụta ọtụtụ ihe ga-eme ka ị ghara ịgafe ụzọ ebe ndị ọzọ gafere. Igbo kacha alọ.
EBEONADI FM 103.5 Ogidi. Igwe na-ekwu okwu na-agbasa ụzọ gabaga anya enye anyị ihe anyị na-achọ ka anyị nụma na ntị anyị maka na gị na-agị ntị gbogbo ị na-eme mmadụ obi ụtọ. Nke oyibo na-akpọ entertainment, omenala ka ị na-akpali elu, nke oyibo na-akpọ kọlchọ, ihe eji eme ọfụma. Omenala n'ime obi ụtọ bụ eji mara gị. EBEONADI FM 103.5 Ogidi. Azụ m na ọdịrọ ịkwa ajọ na azụ n'onwe onye redio eji mmanụ itu na redio kegide 103.5 Ogidi. EBEONADI FM ka ịnụ m ị chọrọ obodo ga-adịkwa oyi na ikegide anyị pawa.
How best can we talk about the challenges we are having on our streets, our community, our society in general? Street report. If we do not address these challenges on EBEONADI FM, who will, as the happenings around us get as complicated as they can be?
Our government, Abia,
Whatever. Street report is here to make sense of it all. Street report is causing social change across your streets. In your community. Street report is here with hardcore journalism to get to the roots of our problem. Why don't you join me, Martin Ifanishku, number the first, every Friday, 4:30 p.m. on EBEONADI 103.5 FM as Street Reports unfolds in your face. On EBEONADI 24/7, 24/7.
Okay, guys, thank you. Like, subscribe, and share right here. The subscribe button right here. You're welcome.